Right. We are going to be reviewing some more LSP games. This is an actual LSP mirror on Dalaran. I'm going to probably pause the game as the gates open to talk through what you should be doing. So, general targeting choice is pets, shamans, and pallies. Pallies are really, really, really great targets if they're ever isolated, you have a death coil, or you've full CC'd one or two of the other DPS. Otherwise, pets are awesome, and then shaman after pets are dead. Or if the pet is like being tunneled, or if the shaman's in a really bad spot, obviously you can go shaman first. Other things that you're going to be trying to do is set up really great hexes. I generally Shadow Fury the Shaman and hex the Warlock on cooldown. You can hex the Shaman. The good reason to do so is it gives you a full Bloodlust where you can't be purged on the second hex, of course. But generally, I think hexing the Warlock opens up more positioning for you and reduces pressure and creates more pressure for your team as well. On positioning, this is the most important thing. Whichever LSP's DPS are on the other team's Paladin is winning. So you and your Warlock want to be right in their face. This does a bunch of things. One, it makes them all bunch up, which means you're going to get better knocks, better Shadow Furies, and you're going to be able to kick and purge everyone, which will basically mean that the Paladin has to use more cooldowns and more mana, and when you please, you're going to be able to easily dispel it. So if you ever find yourself where your team is all bunched up on your healer, that's going to feel really bad for your healer, and it's going to turn into some challenging situations. The knocks, the thunderstorms you're going to go for, especially on this map, is you want to isolate either the pet or the shaman and then go them, or you want to knock the paladin off and then go the pet or the shaman. Knocking the warlock doesn't do much. Try not to do it. If you're going to knock both the paladin and the shaman at the same time, try to knock them in different directions. So that basically, like, you're isolating one or making it so that one of them has to run further in order to get to you. Other things really important to be purging plea, beacon, and sacred shield. If you ever see any of those, it should be instantly purged. And then, of course, you're going to be shearing immolates and trying to ground lava burst, chaos bolts, and hexes. If you don't have shear available, if you don't have ground available for those last three, you can also shear them, and that's fine. And then also you can knock a hex if you have to, or a chaos bolt that's about to kill someone. Generally, what you're going to be aiming to do is get effective lava burst and chaos bolts. Whichever team gets more effective lava burst and chaos bolts should win. Effective means that it either forces defensive cooldowns, a lot of mana usage, or an actual kill on the enemy team. Initial opening positioning should be Shadow Fury on them, and then knock in. So that was perfect. You could have Shadow Fury both them, knocked the pally off, and then the shaman further on and went into the shaman or the pet. But you're running to the box. I recommend not doing that. Their shaman should be able to get a good knock here. What you should be doing right now is getting between the shaman and the box and keeping that angle. So you always want to be, in a line between, like, along the line of the shaman to the box. That way you're going to get knocked into the box. All right, you get knocked here. It doesn't matter. You're knocked on, and they missed your pally, so it was just a waste of his knock. I would just be purging right now. Especially this pet. The pet has beacon. That's a really useless thunderstorm. Try not to do that. You're isolating the warlock. He already has a port up here. He doesn't give a shit. He's just going to port right back up. But I'd be purging this pet right now. And then trying to set up. You have a Shadow Fury. Oh my god. If your warlock told you about that Shadow Fury, this is such a beautiful hex. You hex the warlock and you just damage this pet and you get so much stuff. You're going to get so much stuff. And then you can push forward with it. But he didn't tell you, or you didn't notice, and so you're not casting the hex. You get the pet. It shouldn't die here. Yeah, it has every buff in the game. I would be purging it right now for sure. Did they just EM? They're just EMing your pally in the open. I mean, he is like in a weird spot. He should be over here, but whatever. He should be fine. He should have Hellstone. At worst, he has to Aura Mastery. He gets Death Coiled. Okay, he bubbles. Well, that's not great. He didn't have to bubble. You got a Hex on the Shaman. They had Shear and Spelllock available, so I don't know why they did that, but they did it. And again, you want to be pushing forward here. You want to be pushing forward. You get knocked, not ideal, but it's not a big deal. You can run up there. Ooh, you're running backwards. I would have just ran forwards. Your pally had good line on you. You would have been safe. You have your Hellstone. You had Stoneclaw Totem. But it's okay. Just takes you a little bit longer. You have a good knock here. Nope. Not that knock. I'm going to show you exactly. You're in a Ghost Wolf right now. If your pally, and which he has a Hodge, by the way, if he Hodges the Shaman right here, it's going to get cleansed, and that's totally fine. If you're running in this angle, you can get in back of this Shaman and knock him here. And that's crazy good because he's so far from his pally. You're going to get so much pressure and momentum from it. But you knock him towards his pally. Do you see how like he's so close to being in line with his pally that basically the knock that you just got on the Warlock is actually what you wanted on the Shaman. He literally ports in midair and nothing matters. The dude has had beacon on a pet for 30 seconds. That cannot happen. You need to be purging that beacon. They're still chasing your pally. Nothing should, like, he's fine. I don't know what's happening over there. He has Orb Mastery. He might have Hellstone. You have Hex. I think your Warlock literally just used Shadow Fury. You really want to be lining those up. He just grounded nothing. This is a free Hex on the Warlock right here. Right from this, I would just be casting the Hex. Okay, that's fine. Hopefully you set it up soon. You're just taking some damage, doesn't matter. You do have Stoneclaw. You want to be getting full uptime on Stoneclaw Totem. You didn't use it. You dropped a bunch of health. You used your Hellstone. I don't know if it was super necessary, but you used it. You're lining up a little bit of damage on the pet, but they have such good positioning. Also, they lusted. We haven't lusted yet, which is, there's not really a great time to lust yet. You want to get a Hex on someone when you lust, but alright. You Hex the Warlock. He does Trinket. Is what it is. They get Chaos Bolts out on your Warlock's pet. It might actually die here. It does die. He's going to have to Feldom. He's also in a weird spot. I think his port's over here, so at least he can port back. He's getting feared. You didn't get the fear, it looks like. He's probably going to Feldom behind their pillar. He does. Now he has to keep that pet alive or you're eventually just going to lose. Also, let's note mana real quick, by the way. Their pally got a full plea earlier. I didn't call it out. It was when he was over here. Your pally used a plea and I think got purged. And more than that, your pally had to Holy Shock nearly on cooldown because all of you are dying and taking a ton of damage. And the reason is positioning. They're on top of your pally the whole game. You're never near their pally. So he's able to just flash and be chill and do whatever the hell he wants. Things you're going for is you're going to try to save this Shadow Fury for your next Hex in 11 seconds. And you're going to be keeping an eye out on a good knock. Again, not a good knock. That knocks the Shaman to his pally. He doesn't give a shit. It doesn't create any pressure. He's not that worried. You spell out to the Hex. Okay. He's going to probably still go for the Hex soonish. So just be ready for it. Your pet. No, the second pet died. The pet was in a bad position, to be honest. It needed to be back. Okay, wait. How did this Hex happen? So he's about to Lava Burst this pet. He uses, again, he's grounding nothing important. It was like, I don't even know what the ground got. So you can fully Hex the Warlock here. He doesn't have a Trinket. And your Warlock might be able to actually set up a hard summon from it. He's casting a Hex. What did we ground? Wait, sorry. I don't know how to go back just a second. Alright, that was worse. Alright, we're just going to pay attention to this ground. Your ground comes up. Remember, he's going for the Hex. You shear, or sorry, it was a shear into a spell lock. And then they kill the pet. What do you ground here? You just grounded nothing. Okay. It looked like you might have been trying to ground the Lava Burst, but obviously the pet's out of range. And then now you don't have a ground for it. Your shear isn't up, and your Warlock just used... so you have to kind of... I guess you're just fucked. You don't even have a knock. I don't know. If you knew all that was happening, I would actually drop down and just get out of LOS. You're so behind now. Two pets have died. You haven't used Lust. You haven't used EM. This is just sadness, and it's all because of positioning. You've also missed, a couple of grounds, a couple of shears, and stuff like that. But almost all of it is positioning. They're actually hitting your Warlock. Frankly, this is actually giving you guys time. You Hex the Warlock there. That's fine. But it's really hard to kill a Destro Warlock. They basically have permanent shield wall. Your pally's over here, which is an interesting spot. We're going to see what happens with a knock. I feel like you could have gotten knocked opposite of your pally. I hate this. Oh, I guess you get the pet a little bit, but like these knocks don't do much. Really try to isolate or knock the pally off. Or use it for an interrupt. Like, you're not getting any of those, unfortunately. All right, he's getting a howl here. Uh-oh. You have an Earthbind down. You just got howled with your pally. What's about to happen? He trinkets it. You're howled in a bad spot. Uh-oh, I think you're dead. If I were you, right now you don't have a choice. You're probably fucked anyway. But from this fear, try to run around this corner. Instantly, by the way, as you see, this Lava Burst better not land. You have shear and ground. But you need to be probably Stoneclaw Totem and shearing. Alright, it lands. You're dead. That sucks. The game would have continued, but you guys were so behind. You haven't had a pet for a while. The pally has much more mana. He has bubble still. Like, things got really rough. I think there was actually a time, not to harp on you, and I'm sorry, this is kind of mean. I think there was a time that he got a Howl off. I'm just looking at your trinket. Yeah, so I think this was really sad, and I didn't mention this. You run on top of your pally. I don't know if I mentioned in the very beginning, but the positioning ideally is that you're never on your pally, and really you're never even on your Warlock's pet. You never want to be stacked up because these Shadow Furies can be really rough because then you guys can't stop incoming damage or cast, and obviously you can't stop Howl. You don't have a Tremor down. Right now you have Earthbind. This is going to be a double Howl. Your pally does have Trinket, but it should be your Trinket, but the problem was this Hex. Which was just really good by the Shaman. It was good timing. Obviously, you could have Trinket, Sheared, Trinket, Grounded. I don't know, you might have MS, because I know that you play from Korea, I think. And so you just Trinket into the Hex, and now you're just so behind. They're going to get a ton of momentum here, which is probably why they can turn, and eventually they're going to turn this into another pet kill. All right, I'm going to pause there. I think this was all positioning. You can see pretty much the entire game. It's you on top of your pally. He's really sad. He's using all his mana, using all his defensive cooldowns. And you never got good thunderstorms, unfortunately, and so you never got to create momentum. And you guys weren't coordinating the Shadow Fury hexes. Damage was about the same. You're doing your damage rotation. You're interrupting some stuff. I don't think you were always getting the right interrupts, but that's okay. It was really just a positioning game, and then eventually a pet kill into cooldown usage game. And then at the very end, you die. You could have lived a little bit longer, but it was in a sad state because of all the pets being dead and all the cooldowns being used. And you're done. All right, another LSP game from the wonderful Modan. Nodan, thank you again for sending these and sharing these. This is from, of course, the Ellie perspective. I don't know what's happening here. You used Stoneclaw before the game opens. Am I wrong? What? You used it 4 seconds ago. I actually think the shield goes away. Oh, like, right? Let's see. When do you use Stoneclaw Totem? Don't do that. It's an important cooldown, and it lasts less than its cooldown. It lasts 15 seconds. Oh, I don't even see it. Wait, what? Where's it? Oh my god, do you not have the glyph? "15 seconds. Okay, never mind. It's right here. So this is the shield. Does it even work out of the gates? It doesn't. So definitely don't do that, because now it's just on cooldown for 15 seconds. Okay, sorry. Anyways, it's against TSG, LSP versus TSG. Let me walk through some of the things you're trying to do, and then I'll talk about, obviously, what actually happens in the match. What you're trying to do in the very, very, very opener is let your Warlock and Pally get good positioning while you slow them. And so you're going to be Frost Shocking, you're going to be Rooting, you're going to be Purging, and you're basically going to be giving yourself to them so that they start hitting you so that your team gets good positioning. The reason for that is you have Stoneclaw, which is like free health. But, of course, you don't have Stoneclaw right now. Totally fine. Shit happens. Ideal positioning, by the way, for your team, your Warlock, and it's up to the Warlock how he likes to kite. But generally what I like to do is have him actually put his port out to the side of the, like, stairs thing, like opening of the stairs. And then he's going to kite either in a circle in the open or kite all the way into the room and then port out. And then when he ports out, you can knock the two in, you can root them in, and then your Warlock can cross all the way to the other side. Your Pally wants to be 40 yards. You never want to let your Pally get gripped. If your Pally gets gripped, the world gets a little bit sad. Your target choice is going to be Warrior most of the game, Pally if you can. And then you're going to be also trying to hex the Warrior when you're not killing him or when he's, you just finished a go or something like that. The other big scary things are Gargoyle. Gargoyle is really spooky. There's a macro if you don't have it. It is show tooltip, Wind Shear, stop casting, target Ebb and Gargoyle, cast Wind Shear, target last target, and that'll Wind Shear the Gargoyle without having to target it or do anything. And then when Gargoyle comes out, either it needs to be permanently kicked from Spellbox and Shears, or it needs to be targeted and killed. Obviously your Pally can fear it too, but their Pally can dispel it. All right, and also you, again, as always, you really want to be purging every beacon. You want to be purging all the Sacred Shields. Let's see how long this beacon on this Pally lasts. Nice, they're hitting you. You don't have Stoneclaw, which, something happened. All right, you took a bunch of damage. Shadow Fury came out. This Shadow Fury, I guess it gets trinketed, so I would have tried to get the position to actually knock the Warrior behind me, but it got trinketed, so it is what it is. They use Aura Mastery too. You're still taking the deeps. You do Stoneclaw back. I would make sure to use that. Oh, you bopped. All right, you bopped pre-Gargoyle. I think stuff could get spooky. Their positioning is bad. Yeah, you can go DK when you can't hit the Warrior, but it is kind of fake because he'll always have a cooldown. You can only really go Gargoyle when he's isolated and had already used AMS. I don't even know. These are just blasting. Do you have Bloodlust up? I don't know how, what's happening to this Warrior? No one's stopping anything. Oh, his Pally's just on the other side of the tomb. And he missed Spell Deflect. Alright, that's what happened. Your positioning is good. You want to be on top of them, but you want your Warlock and your Pally not to be on top of them. They should be around this tomb together. AMZ is a real cooldown. You probably have to respect it. I'd be going for a Hex here. Probably a Hex on the DK because he already used his trinket. Looks like you're just blasting. Oh, you Hex the Pally there. That's fine. It's not great because he doesn't... I mean, maybe it's fine because maybe eventually your Warlock can also get a Fear. Don't hit the DK when he's in Icebound thingy. He takes a lot less damage. He switched Beacon to the Warrior. Yeah, that instantly gets purged. That's a choice. And then, where's his port? Hopefully it's somewhere over there because he's going to need to port. His pet's going to die here, but shit happens. He's just sitting there, eating it. That's so ballsy because you did not have Bop. I don't know how your Warlock didn't just die. Pally gets gripped in, should be interrupted and knocked. You're just blasting things, and the Warrior runs. He should not have to run there. Actually, honestly, you lost that game, I think. The Pally should be bubbling, telling his team, stay in, stay in, stay in. And then you're in such a bad spot, because the Warlock pet should die. And, oh my god, the Warlock's pet is here. Or, portal is here. Oh, fuck. Well, he can't even portal, because he portals, like, into you guys. So if the Pally bubbles there, they stay on your Warlock. They do insane damage. His pet dies. He portals, tries to get a fell down, probably, maybe eventually gets the pet out, but he's just so behind, and then you should just lose. You knock there is fine. Oh, I didn't even mention it. Thunderstorms, you really want to use after grip. Like the second a grip happens, you want to be knocking and then slowing the DK because then the DK can't get back. Ideally, of course, you also knock after the second, charge intercept from the wearer because then he can't get back either. You're just fucking man-moding, just standing here slapping him. Your Warlock is literally running in and eating damage. He should be kiting and staying as far away as he can. This should get tough. I'm imagining you're about to do a ton of damage. This Chaos Bolt cannot happen. It gets stopped. So this port, what did the DK grip? Well, he's grip in 3 seconds. I have no idea if the Warrior has Charger Intercept. But you guys should be able to get right back to the Warlock. You do. The second Warlock pet's about to die. Your only chance is just to outdamage them. But of course you shouldn't be able to because you should just get kicked. You should get feared. You should get spell fucked at everything. Chaos Bolt does land. That's helpful. And the Warrior's running. If he didn't run, you lose. Or, yeah, I don't know why he ran away. That, helps you. I guess he's hitting a pet. That's something. Second pet is dead. The Warlock, if the DK's in a Death Coil. How's he in a Death Coil? He's not. He used Death Coil. Your Warlock should just be dead here. What's happening? Am I crazy? Why is the DK over here? He's scared. Oh my god. Alright. I don't like that. He should not have been scared. Your Warlock should be dead. Hopefully your Warlock is summoning a new pet right now. I feel like you guys are so far behind, but they're playing like they're so far behind. Yeah, he just summoned a pet full and he Bladestorm nothing. No. Okay. Well, I guess also a lesson for TSG. When you see a portal like this, you can save Bladestorm because the Warlock won't be able to port anywhere good. He's going to have to port into you. And so if you Bladestorm on him and his pet, the Warlock will portal 3 feet, eat all the Bladestorm damage, and his new pet will die too. But he just used it. How do you get this Lava Burst off? Also, the enemy Paladin should just be cleansing right now. You shouldn't see any Flame Shocks or Amelites ever stick. You're just casting this in his face. And then he Spell Reflex. Chain Lightning and you almost die. Okay. That was a fiesta. I don't even know if this is helpful. That was a crazy game. That was a weird game. I don't know why the things that happened. Pally ended the game with Trinket and Bubble available. Fucking odd. But anyways, the general idea is you're blasting the Warrior a bunch. You're trying to Hex on cooldown. You can either Hex the Warrior, which is really good because then it gives your Paladin a bunch of breathing room because Mortal Strike will drop. Or you can Hex the DK if he Trinkets and he's out of a thing. You can Hex the Pally. It's usually not great, but you can do it. And really, you just want your Warlock and your Pally to be permanently max distance. Crazy shit happened. Everyone ran on top of each other. You eventually won. Good job, but I don't think that's how that match should usually go. I'm curious the MMR here. Let me speed it up. 2200, huh? Okay. Well, or 2300 almost. Well played. Sort of. You did a ton of damage. Freaking weird. Freaking weird. You, I guess, scared them. Maybe you had a series versus these folks and they were just really scared because you one-shot them a bunch. I guess that probably makes sense. All right, on to the next one. Alrighty, we have LSP against RMP in this one, also on Dalaran, which is nice for us. I'm going to talk about, again, in the opener, like general strategy, which the first thing is, if you don't know about the combat trick as LSP, basically your Paladin puts Blessing and Sacrifice on your Warlock uses, what's the thing called that makes fire come out around him? Hellfire, I guess, or whatever that's thing. Anyways, that puts him in combat, that puts the Paladin in combat. You then buff the Paladin with Water Walking or Water Breathing, whichever one that you have your minor glyph for, and then all three of you are in combat. And then you can slowly push forward. The general positioning is they're going to be trying to kill your Paladin in Shadow Dance Goes, and you're going to be trying to avoid that. And then eventually you're going to win on CC, mana, or just, damage. You can kind of kill any target here. It depends on their positioning. I like to go Rogue, and then when the Priest is open, swap to the Priest. But if you clean the Mage fully, he's really, really, really easy to kill. And sometimes you can just one-shot him with EMCL. The opener is really important. Again, you want your Pally to be as far away as possible, and then you need to disrupt their opener. They're probably going to be trying to deep you, and then sheep the Warlock, and then open on the Pally at the same time. Or deep sheep you, and then blind the Warlock, or something like that. They're going to basically try to get to your Pally with the other two of you CC'd, and you guys need to disrupt it. So who uses what cooldown early is really important. Basically, you don't want your Paladin to have to bubble if you don't have to. You want him to use all of his other stuff first, and so Aura Mastery Hellstone on the opener is very normal for the Paladin to have to use, but it should be you and your Warlock disrupting with Thunderstorm, with Shadow Fury, with kicks, with spell locks, with grounds, with all that sort of stuff, and then roots are really important here too. So let's see the opening. Also, I actually like to play... like if they're over here and we're in combat, I'd want my Paladin actually to stay on the stairs, and I'd want us to push in towards them, and I'd probably want to drop totems near for him. Of course, you're going to want your Tremor over near you, but you're going to want to give him cleansing totem and stuff. Alright, so you gave him totems. Looks like he went back that way. Well, you redrop totems. Don't love it. They're also in their face. They're going to be able to kill him. You looks like you just keep redropping the totems. He's deathing your Tremor right now. I imagine you're going to knock, and it's going to be a good knock. Nice. So that was deep sheep into you, and he was going to fear off it, which is weird, but you can just get cleansed here. Nothing here really matters. I think you just blanketed. Yeah, they just blanketed your Pally. You're probably going to get resheeped. It'll be half. I wouldn't be super worried about that. I think your Warlock already used Shadow Fury. He probably used it in the opener. That means the Rogue is on top of you guys. Someone needs to go help your Pally, because he's probably just about to dance on him. Yep, he just used Shadow Dance. He's on your Pally. Everyone's on your Pally. You don't have the knock anymore. You don't have a lot of shit to help him. I'd probably lust for globals right now, and then your Warlock should be running in and Howl of Terroring, and you should be grounding and then just healing your Pally. You just don't want your Pally to have to bubble here. And he bubbles. Fuck. It's rough. Well, now your Pally just needs to stay max distance the rest of the game. It's the most important thing. Yep, you sheared the Poly. That's good. It looks like you're hitting the Mage. That's fine. I'd also hex him just to get his trinket out of the way. And then be going on the Rogue. Your Pally needs to get distance. He's over here. He needs to be over on the box. Your Warlock's taking the deeps too. I don't know where he has a port. Hopefully he has a good port. Yeah, it's over here. Your Pally should be playing on his port. Oh, how did he get trinketed? Or sorry, how did he get sheeped there? Oh, he's already in the sheep. Oops. Oh, it happened right then. Did you have anything? You had a shear maybe? Let's see again. You don't have a shear. Does your Warlock have a you have nothing. Frankly, Shadow Fury this. Someone needs to stop the sheep. Your Pally has bad positioning. He should be farther, or you guys should be sacked here. I don't think either of those things are true. And so he's going to be sitting in this Pally. Yeah, this is really rough. They're going to do a ton of damage. Definitely stop the re-sheep. You have to. Alright, get spell locked. You hex him. Do you shear this? You don't. You have a new knock. This knock can do stuff. I would knock the priest off and then hit Rogue. I'd run in between them, and then you'll just get cloak off that. Okay, don't love that. Your Warlock's still getting some damage on the Rogue. He cloaked. That means I'd definitely try for a Rogue go. Your Pally needs to be far away, though. Oh my... How did he get here? Oh, he's just dead, huh? He needs to be running away. Oh, he gets... You all get feared. What got your trinket? Let's see that. A deep here, huh? No. Oh, you trinket the end of a deep to stop the resheep. I don't love that. It's okay, but you can't get feared. And bad things are about to happen. I imagine this is probably the game. Yeah, your Pally's just... he's just fucked here. He doesn't have dance at least for 15 seconds, but, like... Things are going to be sad for him. He's dead. Yeah, he didn't have to die there. You know, he had Ore Mastery. I don't know if he had Hellstone that he could have used on the first one. You guys could have disrupted it. But that's basically, I mean, that's how the game goes. If you had saved your Trinket, you could have instantly Trinket Tremored, and he would have been further from the Rogue. Obviously, the Rogue could have stepped, but maybe you would have been able to stop more stuff. But tough. That's RMP. Your Pally just needs to be playing much further away. You guys need to disrupt that opener. And then I'd just try to get pressure out. I'd EM a little bit earlier. Probably, I mean, because you guys hit the mage, I would just EM the mage. It wouldn't have mattered too much because he has block, trinket, and then another block, but still to get some stuff. Also, I want to see what are you doing while your Pally is dying? I don't think you could have stopped it, but maybe you can... Oh, you're deeped. Well, yep, this is an RMP go. You're both CC. Oh, literally, it was triple CC. Your Pally was in a kidney. And then all three of you had already trinketed, so none of you could help each other. So you got to kind of trade your, like, do the cooldowns one at a time to stop a go. If you use multiple trinkets, multiple cooldowns to stop a single go, then you're dead. I mean, the Rogue didn't even dance for that go, so you guys were super dead, to be honest. It's all about positioning and cooldown usage and helping your Pally in the opener.